And the reason that works is because you manage to connect to what happened to that character. So if me as Roni connected to that character and what happened to her, then how do I add the character now to it? That's, for me, that's kind of how much of Roni do I put in and how much of the character do I put in. So that's kind of a balance that I'm still.
So do you have to draw from a personal experience in terms of relating to the character that you're trying to play?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Some scenes that don't hit me the right way that they should hit, or I don't know, need to hit.
And also, I wanted to ask you about the different techniques. There's like method acting,
Yeah.
different types of. What type of acting or school of acting do you prescribe to?
Well, when I moved here, I got very lucky to study with Sandy Marshall, who she's not teaching anymore, unfortunately, but she taught a version of Meisner technique. What I really liked about her classes is that just before every class, before we would start working on our scenes, we would do repetition, which forces you to listen to the other actor. So you go on stage and it forces you to be very precise about how this person makes you feel. Like, what are you making me feel right now? And I would say a word like nervous, and you would repeat that. And what does that inflict on you when I said that you make me nervous? Like, how does this make you feel in one word?
It would make me feel, I don't know if guilty is the right word, but
Guilty.
like, how did I make you nervous? Or how can I make you feel better or more comfortable instead of
So
nervous?
yeah, so you have to like put it all in one word, and then this beautiful thing happens. Like, there's a connection being formed between the two of us, and it could go anywhere. Like, it could be like pissed off, like I don't like you, or it can go everywhere. I'm not pissed off, I do like you.
I'm like, oh. What did I do?
Just making sure.
Yeah.
So what I like about this method is that it forces me to be very precise about how I'm feeling right now.
So the method is really surrounded around trying to come up with one word or one way to describe how you're reacting to a particular situation.
Acting is reacting, and this
Okay.
is something that I really, really like. It's really something that, and if the other actor is a wall and I can't act to that, then yes, I will draw from my imagination or from a memory or from something that affects me from my life.
Are there any other principles from the Meissner technique that you grasp onto other than honing down that one word to?
Well, it's the listening. It's mostly just listen to the other actor, how he says what he says, or she.
Yeah. That seems like an interesting technique just in terms of regular life with friendships or relationships or parents or whatever the case may be, just to be able to sit down, not speak, listen, try to analyze a way of being able to react to a particular emotion.
Yeah.
That's a kind of a life skill set, as it might turn out.
It's great. It's great. It makes you understand, like, oh, why am I feeling depressed right now? Like, how do I solve this? How do I make me feel better? How do I operate this mechanism called being a human?
Yeah, that is so, like, the human condition is just so complex in itself. How we interact with each other, where we're going as a society, all that kind of stuff. And it's interesting to see actors and actresses or movies and how they kind of reflect where a society or culture is at in that moment in time. So yeah, that's really cool on that end. But so on the other part, like, you've not only done writing and acting, but you also started your own YouTube channels. And what's your experience been with that?
It's been amazing experience. When the pandemic started and everything shut down, I was feeling very down like everybody else, and like, oh no, my career is over. Like, just when things are starting to get better, everything shuts down. So I said, instead of just going down spiraling, let me do something related to acting, and let's do something that scares me. And I was very comfortable doing drama, but I was never comfortable doing comedy. So I just decided, let me do some comedy. What's my favorite show? Friends, right now, because it makes me feel good and makes me laugh. So I tried to copy kind of that concept into my channel.
So that's what I find interesting about you is that during adverse moments like the pandemic or when nothing else is going on, you still found a way to be proactive.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder where that comes from. I know that's a complicated question to ask, but I think for a lot of people, when there's a roadblock, there's an instinct to not want to continue or to say,
Yeah.
oh, this is not for me. And how is it that you developed a mentality where when the rest of the world is quarantining themselves or somewhat frightened, you've managed a way to be proactive?
Yeah.
And I know that's a hard question to ask or how to answer that, but
Yeah, it's I don't. It could be, well. Hey, I'm okay. Wait, let me sort out my thoughts. I think it's my stubbornness that I'm not giving up. I came here to do something. I'm gonna do it. It's a mission to complete, and also the passion. I'm just too passionate to give something up because the world is shutting down, especially when we have phone cameras that can record 8K or I don't know how many Ks they're recording nowadays, but it's just insane to me that we have all this technology at the palms of our hands,
yeah,
and we can just do whatever we want.
that is really an amazing. We are an amazing time, and
Yeah.
and I think we're entering that too. I mean, even with, I mean, we're in a moment of adversity, or at least I think you specifically are as a SAG actress, sorry,
Right.
because you guys are still in the middle of the strike.
We are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What what's your opinion on the strike, and what do you think the main issues are that need to get resolved? And I know AI is a part of that, and our
Yes.
technology. That's one of the parts that I thought was interesting, as you mentioned. That part of we can do anything we want now.
Yeah.
But what's your opinion on the strike?
Well needed. Very well needed. I did not read all the contracts that were being negotiated, so I'm not. I don't know if I can answer any of that. But I know it's been long due, especially for the writers. I'm so happy that they started it and we kind of joined in because they're really not getting paid a lot. And it was amazing to me. I thought it was only actors, uh, like, in my levels and smaller levels and even bigger levels. But I had no idea that an actor who has been on 40 episodes of a show gets a residual check of 40 cents. Uh, and I get that usage kind of drops down as
Sure.
the season, because it's been, I don't know, if the first season aired 10 years ago, sure, I'm not expecting you to get like $500 as residuals, but it needs to be corrected. So if the studios make almost the same amount of money, so should the actors. So should the face that is
Yeah.
out there representing you
Sure.
should get that.
I think there's a common misconception too that from the public's point of view where they're seeing the strike and it's comes off from a layman's point of view or somebody that's not understanding everything that's going on, that these
Yeah.
Hollywood elites, these big actors, now they want more. But that's not really the case. We're talking about a small percentage that make that type of money.
So
And-
small.
Yeah.
The big names, of course, they have all the money and they don't have the worry, and their agents are able to negotiate these terms for them.
Sure.
But where you're just starting out, and I'm in SAG, so I have the union protecting me.
Sure.
You know what's going on at the non-union world?
Yeah. And even within the union world, I would imagine that there's probably a large percentage of the actors, actresses, writers that don't get paid on the level of
Right.
a Brad Pitt or
Right.
Leonardo DiCaprio, these kind of big names. So
And again, yeah, and I don't think anybody should get paid so much money. Like this industry would die if that's the case.
yeah,
And that's not what we're trying to negotiate for.
sure,
We're just trying to negotiate for a fair amount,
right.
something fair, something livable.